to get ejected from an NBA game, it had to be a flagrant 2 foul, which I did not think it was. He grabbed a jersey. That's a flagrant 1. The argument can be made that he appeared to touch the face of the player, although he tried to pull the player down. It didn't look like he was trying to throw him. It didn't appear violent to me. But Draymond's a very, very physical player. I think it's the kind of call that you get at home and you don't get in Memphis. I thought the Warriors not only won the game, but I kind of felt like they won the series in Game 1. So Draymond is ejected in the first half. Late in the game, the Warriors missed 4 open threes. Klay Thompson missed 2 straight free throws. And the officiating was, to say the least, interesting. That was a game Memphis had to win. Absolutely had to win. No Draymond in the second half. Their best defender. You're at home. Klay rocked 2 free throws. Even Steph Curry missed multiple open threes late in the game. I thought you saw the intelligence of the Warriors and the patience of the Warriors on display against a super talented but very young Memphis Grizzlies team. Again, go to the YouTube page, the Volume Sports, Draymond Green's podcast, and thoughts on the game are there. My second NBA opinion is on Milwaukee beating Boston. Listen, championship teams have the ability to make you play their game. So Boston, as good as they are defensively, is not a big team. And so they're going to have to sacrifice points down low. They're just not going to be able to, in this series, consistently score down low. So it's going to be a very perimeter-based series for Boston. What's that mean? They're going to get hot a couple of games and win. They were not hot in Game 1. And frankly, bigger, more experienced, stronger Milwaukee team with the best player on the floor dominated. I thought Giannis struggled early, missed 5 or 6 balls around the basket that he usually makes. I thought Milwaukee should have had a bigger lead. And I just think when you're looking at Boston, there are ways Boston has to play to win. They're going to have to shoot very well from the perimeter to win this series. They're going to get nothing down low, whereas Milwaukee will get points in the paint, points in the break, which they were very effective, and points from the perimeter. Marcus Smart also was hurt during the game. Now, he played, but Marcus Smart appeared to be playing at about 60 to 70%. This is a big loss. Tatum's their best player. Marcus Smart feels like the heart and soul of the Celtics. He's their best defensive player. He'll sacrifice whatever it takes to better the team. Even Tatum at times can be a little bit about Jason Tatum. So Chris Middleton's out for the Bucks, but he is not their go-to scorer. Giannis is number 1. Drew Holiday is their number 3 scorer, and Drew's been in these playoff spots many times. He's very dependable. So I think you can mitigate some of that. Whereas with the Celtics, I don't think you can win the series if Marcus Smart is not playing at 100%. So keep your eye on that. I said I wanted to see Game 1 and I'd have a greater feel for the series. My feel today is Milwaukee wins in 6 or 7. In terms of the NFL draft, listen, my feeling has always been after the weekend, I don't really break down which teams had the best draft. I thought the Jets' first 4 picks will all be starters. That's a really good draft. And I thought the Jets drafted really smartly last year, getting a receiver and a running back that both played. So I think Joe Douglas, the Jets GM, is really good. And he's got the franchise on stable ground, at least in the executive suite. But what I do is take your free agent signings of note and combine it with your top 2 or 3 picks. And when I do that, there is no question the Denver Broncos are the most improved football team from the Super Bowl until you're watching this podcast. Not just Russell Wilson. So Drew Lock to Russell Wilson feels like an upgrade. They then add Randy Gregory from the Cowboys, a very good pass rusher, and DJ Jones, a wildly underrated run stopper defensive line from San Francisco. They then draft Nick Bonito, an edge rusher from Oklahoma, wildly athletic. I'm not done. They then take out Vic Fangio, a 70-year-old defensive coach, and replace him with Nathaniel Hackett, a young, progressive offensive coach. So they've switched the coach to the right side of the ball. They bring in a Hall of Fame level quarterback to replace Drew Lock. They already had the receivers and targets in place. They massively upgrade their pass rush and defensive line. So now I've got the three things, make it four, that are the key to the Rams' success. Offensive coach, star quarterback, plenty of weapons, and a great pass rush. Oh, by the way, Rams have Jalen Ramsey at corner, and the Broncos, Patrick Surtain may have been one of the top 2 or 3 draft picks last year from Bama. He's a great corner for Denver. They are, to me, in the top 3 teams that should be Super Bowl favorites. You look at what won for the Rams, you look at what won for the Buccaneers the year before, and you look at what Denver has. The star quarterback, lots of weapons, really good pass rush, and an offensive-minded coach, from Arians, McVay, Nathaniel Hackett, from Brady to Stafford to Russell Wilson. So that's what comprises, to me, the Monday after the draft. Your free agent signings, a coach upgrade or two, and your top 2 or 3 draft picks. I thought the Denver Broncos hit it absolutely out of the park over the last couple of months. One college football thought. There is a wide receiver for the Pitt Panthers, Jordan Addison, who won the Biletnikoff Award as the nation's best wide receiver. And he is or has entered the transfer portal. But there is some concern by everybody that's not a USC fan that there was tampering before he got into the portal. And it does appear he'll go to Texas or USC, coin flip. He could also go back to Pittsburgh, but he was spotted at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. My guess, he'll be a Trojan. First of all, tampering. Does everybody get that talented people can talk? How did Mel Tucker end up at Michigan State? He was under contract at Colorado. How did Nick Saban end up at Alabama? He was under contract with the Dolphins. You do realize that the best assistants, the best coordinators, and the best coaches are under contract, including Lincoln Riley, when they are talking to other people. You can squawk about ethics, but you're really, really naive. Fox talked to me when I was at ESPN a year before I left. And as I was under contract at Fox, ESPN has come back to me and asked my interest in returning. It's zero. I appreciate it. I'm flattered. People talk. NBA players talk all the time before the trading deadline. You can't stop it. Nobody's tracking cell phones. This idea, well, who is contacting? There's coaches, there's friends, there's former players. Listen, Jordan Addison may choose to go back to Pittsburgh. Why is he interested in USC? Oh, good hell. The entertainment capital of the country, Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley. I don't know. Why would he be interested? Pitt is a top 20 program, maybe. USC is historically a top 3 program. Most players ever drafted in NFL history is USC. Yes, a star wide receiver and star quarterbacks are going to transfer a lot in the next 5 to 10 years if Lincoln Riley is the head coach. You got to get over this whole tampering thing. How did you get your head coach in college? My guess is he was somewhere else and your school contacted him and he picked up the phone or had his agent negotiate while he was under contract. These are scholarships. They're not binding forever. Right? They're scholarships. Coaches leave under contract, written up by attorneys. That's how you got your football coach.